Hello, my name is Elon Yakubov, and this is Ben Robbins, and we have been working on a project at Greenwich High School for Oculus Rift. So, a little bit of background information on the computer that we needed to buy. Originally, our plan was, once we got the Oculus Rift, to buy a laptop that was powerful enough to run the program and the system itself. However, no laptop could actually feasibly run it at a valuable cost at the system itself. So we decided to actually build our own computers. So the tech specs are on the screen right now, and you can see them whenever you want to. Just pause the video. A little bit of background information. We had to build our own computer for the Oculus Rift because nothing else could run it, and it is a micro ATX build. So now we get into the programs that we use in the game design course. We use 3ds Max, which is the simplest modeling system in the world right now that you can get. If you can think it, you can build it, and it is free for students. It is a very well-made program. It has a bit of a learning curve, but after that, it is very, very simple to use, fast to run, and it gets the job done. And a little bit of background on the course. So, three-dimensional modeling using 3D Studio Max can be used for 3D printers, 3D games, and virtual reality systems. The program can be learned in one semester to meet the minimum requirements for these. Alright, so 3ds Max and sculpting with Mudbox. Mudbox is a program that we use to sculpt out figures and busts of famous people or cartoon characters that we can think of. And we actually have some 3D printed ones right here of Mario, and there's more in a box that we have down there. We'll put those on the website afterwards. Just put them off to the side. So now, if you can turn your attention to the projector, please. Ben is putting on 3ds Studio Max. So this is the basic overlay that you will see when modeling in 3D Studio Max. So right now, Ben is making some simple shapes, primitives as we call them. Some squares, some circles, cylinders, a pyramid here and there, and a cone. So now he's going into the modifier list. Like I said, it is a very, very simple program to use. However, it does have a learning curve once you get into modifiers, such as the bend tool, which Ben is just demonstrating right now. There we go. And now we have one of my projects that I made in 3D Studio Max, which I turned into a video on YouTube that you can watch. We'll put the link in the description. So it is just going through a rundown of the entire room that I modeled, all the textures that I made and put in. So right now it's going through. And does a very well job of modeling everything. This is a low resolution render, but they can go into like HD and 4K, but we haven't gotten there quite yet. So now we go into Ben's room, which he made as our basically project that we use for Unity. And we'll talk about that in just one second, but this is just a room that he made that we use. It's just a walkthrough of his room right now. As you can see, all the frames. Yeah, he's just speeding up the walkthrough right now. There we go. All the materials, all the pre-rendering, everything is there. And then it ends off in the hallway. Alright, so now we go on to Unity. Unity is a game engine that we use in game design courses that we take at GHS that we use to pre-render any of the games or environments that we make. And it is a physics-based engine that we use. It is one of 3 in the world that are available on the market. And it is free for students, so if you have a student ID or anything like that, you can get it off their website. It's completely free. And like 3D Studio Max, it is simple to use because of the fact that it fills in most of the blanks of the code for you. However, it still does have learning curves when you are trying to figure out what is missing from the code. So now Ben is putting up the project that we rendered in Unity, and now he's going to demonstrate Oculus Rift. So if you have glasses like Ben does, you have to take off the glasses preferably, and we will just Feed the wires right over. There we go. Right, so now he is putting Oculus Rift over his head. And now if he just wants to move around, if you can see on the projector, he's moving his head, he's turning, you can see everything inside of the room. The depth perception is incredible in Oculus Rift because it uses a motion detection program that they installed using a gyroscope in the actual headset. So when you move, it follows your movement to a precise 0.1 degree turn-off, which means that it will basically follow your movement as perfectly as possible. So now Ben is just taking off the headset. He's putting it back. There we go. All right, so a little bit of background on the Oculus Rift. Oculus Rift is the first glimpse at virtual reality that we've had in a very, very long time. It is the first version that we have. We have Development Kit 2, which was not available until last year, and it was only available with Unity support, which is the engine we use, this year. So everything that we've been doing in Oculus Rift, we would not have been able to do it at least 1 year ago. So we would have had to wait, actually, to be able to run it and to actually use it for modeling for educational purposes. So now a little bit on Oculus health and safety. The main concerns with Oculus are motion sickness and epileptic seizures. Both can occur and they have occurred in the past. You want to take your time when using it. You don't want to use it too quickly. It can make you dizzy. If you have epilepsy, you should not be using Oculus Rift because you don't want to suffer a seizure or anything serious in that nature. Know your limits, know your strengths. Be very, very careful when using it. Don't use it for too long. And clean it after use. You know, you don't want to spread germs or anything like that. And now we go into Oculus real-life applications. So Oculus Rift has many, many, many applications that you can use for educational purposes, for medical fields, psychiatry, simulations of any kind that you would wish to use. This is just our list of the things that we have been able to come up with. I'm sure there's many, many more out there. And on an end note, we would like to ask you, the viewers, what you believe is an excellent way of using Oculus Rift.